Hi. In this course we're going to be looking at Friedrich Nietzsche, the famous 19th century German philosopher. Nietzsche's very important in the history of Western philosophy and seems to herald in a new age. And this course should give you an overview of what Nietzsche believes, and hopefully raise some interesting questions for you to think about the validity of Nietzsche's thought, about whether you agree with it personally, and also about what Nietzsche causes to happen in 20th century philosophy. So the first thing to say is that there seems to be a sort of a difference of opinion somewhat in Nietzsche's thought, or in the people's assessment of Nietzsche. A lot of people say, hey, he's a nihilist, he doesn't believe in anything, he just says there's no good, there's no evil, there's just nothing. And there's a second group that kind of say, well, he does believe strongly in something, it's just that what he believes in is the very reverse of the sort of commonly held views of his time, which were very much a Christian sort of ethics, that there is a good and an evil. Well, Nietzsche says, well, there is a good and evil, it's just the reverse of what Christianity tells us good and evil is. And so whereas Christianity is usually sort of help thy neighbour and show pity and the meek will inherit the earth, Nietzsche seems to be saying something very different. And so there's two opposing views, and hopefully when you have completed this course you'll have an opinion on those views and very much where you see Nietzsche's thought, and there'll be an opportunity for further study afterwards. The first or the next lesson is going to be a 20-minute overview of Nietzsche's life by Alain de Botton, the modern polemic philosopher. And he is going to be specifically looking at how Nietzsche defines happiness. And that's important because that plays into Nietzsche's whole view of good and evil. And we'll come back and we'll talk about that afterwards. The two things I think that I want you to be thinking about, the two questions I want in your head whilst you're actually watching this video are, firstly, should we actually take any notice at all of Nietzsche? Because he's mad. I mean, clinically mad. He ends his days sort of sitting in the middle of a corner dribbling to himself, whilst people sort of, walk past his window and point at what used to be a famous philosopher. And should we actually really take any notice of a guy who's actually mad? Or can there be truth in madness? Indeed, does his madness help him be the philosopher who he is and help him see something different? That's one question. The second question I think that you should be thinking about is, how much do you agree with this seeming paradox in Nietzsche's definition of happiness? He seems to be saying that we can only achieve happiness by going via unhappiness. He seems to be saying that it's like saying the only way you can turn right is by turning left. Well, okay. Does that make perfect sense or does it make no sense? That's something we'll come back and talk about in the third lesson of this 8-lesson course. So that's an important point. So next, watch the excellent documentary by Alain de Botton. It's going to last about 20-25 minutes, and be thinking about those two questions, and then we'll come back and speak again. Best of luck.